Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Tuesday, May 13th. What are we going to talk about? Well, first of all, let's get this out of the way. The Knicks won. They got a 3-1 lead over the Celtics. I can remember when those games made history. I mean, they were just such historical conflicts. And then you had the 76ers and the Lakers. Don't see that kind of event anymore, but they're still good games. And anyhow, Celtics and Knicks have never really liked each other. Don't know why. They're very, very competitive. Basketball is extremely competitive. And the Knicks won. So I'm happy about that. You know, I used to have season tickets to the Knicks. I used to sit up in the dark blue seats. I got thrown out of there a couple of times, but, you know, that's just having a good time. Back in the days when I got drunk and couldn't remember driving home. So let's take that out of the contest, you know. Now let's talk about our favorite subject, Donald Trump and his jet. You know, this isn't, what was the name of that movie, that song? I can't remember. Something in the jet. All right, I can't remember it. I'm not even sure who did it. That shows you my mind is slipping, because usually I'm really, really good with music. But in this case, I'm not that great. Not sure who the was. Something in the Jets, but, you know. Anyhow, I don't know how he's trying to spin this. He's trying to spin this like he did us a favor. Now, that's a luxury jet. It does not have any of the safety features that Air Force One has. Now, I'm not sure of everything Air Force One has, but I know it's got flare systems in it and all sorts of radar detection equipment and really top-level communications equipment that takes months to install. But he's going to take this $400 million jet, and it's probably going to cost him close to $600 or $700 million to. Well, it's going to cost him a few million to put it back. You know, get it to standards that he can fly it, that they'll allow him to fly it on it. You know, I don't personally care what they do. They can do nothing to it. Maybe somebody will shoot it out of the sky. That would be a relief to most of the world. But the deal with this is, if you read how they presented it, is to be used as Air Force One, and then to be, I guess, decommissioned when he removes himself from office and be used for his personal purposes. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, that's a direct gift to Donald Trump. Not a he's going to try and write it off and write everything off that has to be done to it by making it Air Force One, and that to me shouldn't happen. I think he should politely refuse the jet, but he won't, because he's a greedy son of a bitch and he likes to think he's king. And that's just one step more bullshit that, you know, people are going to have to put up with from him. You know, a foreign jet flying the American president around the world. And you don't think that thing's bugged top to bottom? Come on, people. Oh, God. I just, you know, every time he does something that seems like it might be a good thing, he screws around and does something that's evil. You know? They went pretty nuts on him this morning for falling asleep at not sure where it was, someplace he was signing something or something. I'm not sure if that was in Saudi Arabia. If it was, you can blame jet lag on it, but you know, somebody probably kept him awake with news or something, you know, watching TV on the plane, or maybe he's just afraid to fly. He's afraid of everything else. And going back along the lines with the jet and security, he again did what he was doing in the first first term, he's refusing to read security briefs and allowing somebody else to read them, and then they can talk to him about it later if they want, if it's important, you know. I think all security briefs are important. I think you need to really take your time and think about it and see whether, you know, it's something that needs to be done. But he leaves everything up to everybody else. What Trump does that's really spectacular is that when it's bad, it's somebody else's fault. It's never his fault. Never. It's the Democrats. It's Joe Biden. It's Franklin Roosevelt. You know, whoever. They're the ones that cause all this problem. He never accepts responsibility unless it's a good thing. Now, you're supposed to take, you know, credit for the good things in life, but he doesn't take. If that good thing starts to go bad, it's not his fault, even though he put it in, you know. And don't everybody start jumping up and down about these tariffs. That's a 90-day delay. Okay? What it allows is that the stock market will go up, retail sales will go up, the economy will look good, and then he'll get, I don't know, some sort of bug up his ass and screw it all up, which is what he's known for. You know, because he is the bankrupt king, you know. Not only did he bankrupt something like 6 businesses, 3 of which were casinos. I didn't think it was 3, I thought it was 2, but the article I read said 3, so we'll go 3 casinos. Bankrupted 3 casinos. I don't know, you know, I don't think my 2-year-old grandson could bankrupt 3 casinos. But he managed to do that. And so he's done that. He's a convicted felon. And you sit around, everybody sits around and says, you know, oh, he's going to be okay. He's going to do the good thing, you know. I believe that the Republicans have spent years putting racists and, well, let's just say congressmen, because I think there's a few in the Democrat side that are just as bad. But the political parties have spent years putting in their place these racist, bigoted, in some cases stupid, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, people into office, allowing them to get into office, and then all of a sudden Trump is, you know, that's it, they're my people. Now let's look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here's a guy that he supported her. He calls her a great person, wonderful supporter, but she can't win, so I don't want her running. And she doesn't realize that she's going to end up with absolutely nothing from Donald Trump in the long term, you know. But that's what these people do, you know. We're going to have sometime this fall probably, or maybe still in the spring, some sort of major outbreak in this country. In America, I shouldn't say this because I'm in Colombia, so it's different. Colombia is regressing into a narco state again, but we'll see there. That's just, I don't worry about that till they start shooting people on my street. But Donald Trump is just sitting around, screwing things up, and I've said this before, not everything you do as President of the United States or as Congress of the United States, whatever, takes immediate effect. I don't care if they say this is immediate. In Trump's case, if it's bad or illegal, he enforces it the next day. He makes sure he's got people out there enforcing it the next day so he can do as much damage as he possibly can before the courts step in and tell him, "Hey, you asshole, chill." You know? This is Donald Trump, a convicted felon, a horrible businessman making deals for the United States government. And you know that you and I are not going to benefit from this. Okay, I probably won't benefit at all because I don't live in the United States. But the people, my friends and everything, and relatives that I have in the United States aren't going to benefit from this. Well, a couple of them are because they've got money, so maybe they'll benefit from it. But the rest of them aren't. There's no way they're going to benefit from this, you know? And you've got these people that are Republicans, and you have J.D. Vance, who marries a I always get this. I try not to confuse people because when I think Indians, I think the Apaches and the whatever. But this is an Indian from India. She's an Indian. She's. I don't know how to get that across. I always get a little confused with. Try not to confuse people with that. But she is from India. She's a native to India, and. That's supposed to make him a good person. He just became a Catholic. That's supposed to make him a better person. And all it really did was make him just a real shithead. You know, a hypocrite. He's supposed to be smart for his education, and sorry, he's not. I'm not going to say I'm smarter than he is because I don't know the subject that we would be discussing, but in some instances I think I am, because I have more common sense than he does. And, you know, but I don't know all the intricacies of how the government works. I know an awful lot of it because I've been reading about it, and I was part of the problem at one point in time. So I have a lot of knowledge there. But he's not the brightest match in the pack, you know what I'm saying? He has some issues that need to be discussed. But he's already been presumed to be the presidential candidate, he and Rubio, in 2028. Now, Rubio is another one that's a hypocrite, okay? So watch him, all right? Because he talks out of both sides of his mouth, or as the American Indians used to say, he speaketh with forked tongue. Okay? Alrighty, I'm running out of things to talk about. One issue I have left is that as he tries to take over the Library of Congress so that he can run Congress, run roughshod over Congress, he's also in taking this position that artificial intelligence is good, but what it does is destroy creative thinking in the human mind. You know, it's like they said the computer was going to be better, and all the computer did was, you know, force a lot of people into lower paying jobs or into early retirement when it came out. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Alright, let's get on with this now. I want to ask you, as I always do at the end of my videos, to please subscribe by hitting the button below. And comment if you'd like. Don't spit at the screen because it's your screen, so don't do that. Don't punch it or anything like that because that gets expensive and I don't want you spending any money. And by subscribing, you don't spend any money, but you get the opportunity to yell and scream at me, you know. And that's pretty cool, I think. Alright, so listen, that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Unless something breaks, I don't see it in anything really spectacular happening. So everybody take it easy, and I'll see you tomorrow.